Hey peeps, just Benny again. Thought we'd start inside the house this week instead of out on the rack. So here we are having a look at this Rhads tank. As you can see, this is my breeding colony, or just house display tank, that will not stop having babies inside the tank. I don't even need to put mops in anymore. They just constantly lay it in the hair grass, and it is starting to become a headache, but a pretty cool headache nonetheless. What I also have in here is a really small group of Orange Vene Corys. That's one of them. I think that's the lone female that's in here. They generally just hide in and around underneath the wood structure and out of sight pretty much all day. But as you can see, we decided to have not one, not two, but 3 big batches of eggs laid today, which is also on top of the 2 different batches that are in this grow out tub inside the tank. So there's one lot, as you can see, that's a fair bit bigger than the other. One of them hatched on Christmas Eve. The other one hatched about 2 weeks ago, week and a half, something like that. So there's a bit of a difference between them. But I'll pull those eggs, pop them into another tub, and just slide one of these inlets over a bit further and drop a new tub here. I'll get rid of this piece of glass. That way everything's all in the one tank and ready to hatch, and then eventually everything will end up in here for the next little while, and then I'll work out what I'm going to do with them. And then we come out onto the rack. As you can see, I've got 1, 2, 3 small setups running at the moment. This guy here's got some Pseudomogel Luminatus in it. This one here is a new mop tank for some Luminatus as well. And this is my hatching and or hatched tubs of CPDs that have come out of here over the last week or so. So what I've also done is I've finally gone through and got my Luminatus ratio sorted. That's a colony of 19. I'd like one more female in there. I've got 5 boys, 14 girls in there at the moment. So if at some point in time I can catch one of these females out of here, I'll just pop them over, and then we're good to go. These guys will be heading off to a couple of fish stores sometime next week. So I'm guessing that by the time next weekend's video comes through, this tank will either be empty or something else will have been moved into it. Speaking of that, something else, these are the Threadfin Rainbows that I showed you guys last week, that are just ready and waiting to find a new home. So I'm guessing that they'll probably come over into this tank in the next week, maybe week and a half, something like that. Give me a chance to clean up some of this brown gunk and diatoms and what have you that are sort of floating around on the bottom, and everything should move along pretty quickly from there. Please don't mind the mess. I haven't come through and cleaned up out here properly at all this weekend. We've been pretty busy with Australia Day yesterday. So these are the ornate Rhad fry from inside the house that are now ready to go over to a fish store that's about 2 hours away. So that's my next mission, putting them into some bags. I actually don't know how many's in there. I'm guessing that there's probably between 35 and 50, just depends. And then that tank will also become a grow out capable for my next few projects as well. So from a full setup standpoint, I'm going to get a new rack and put in here that's going to have hopefully 8 of these grow out and mop tanks. In this space here, the fridge is going to get moved. This is going to go into storage and really only become something that I need when I need it, or that I want to use when I need it. And then I'll have my fry rack in through here. That'll give me space for 2 more of these splits to come through. That'll give me the capability of having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and obviously 8 spaces for some natives in one way, shape or form. And I think that's about it. It's a stinking hot day here in southeast Queensland. Thanks for hanging around. It's a bit longer than normal, but leave a comment, hit that thumbs up, hit subscribe if you feel like it, and we'll see you next week. Cheers peeps, bye.